little chapter earlier that we've gone through in the past. An electrical conductors allows electricity to pass through, while an electrical insulator does not allow electricity to pass through it. One example of a conductor is steel, iron, insulator with wood, plastic. All right. Bulbs are brighter but does not last long in circuit, where batteries are arranged in series. Bulbs are dimmer but last long in circuit when they are arranged in parallel. So in all housing, we always use parallel circuit. Next up, when a bulb fuses or blow, the filament of the bulb break, that causing a gap. So if a wire have any break or gap, the current is not cannot pass through and hence it's an open circuit. Whatever you connect to that do not light up. All right. So bulbs don't light up when there is a gap in a circuit or a circuit is open. Batteries are placed the wrong direction. Batteries are dead or bulb are fused. Before we carry on, right, I have to apologize for everyone. There's a long break because, as you know, that my wife just gave birth, and she's under confinement. So, all the four children will be under my care for the past few weeks. That's why I have no time to go online to have lesson. So I apologize for all this inconvenience. Let's carry on. Thank you very much. Now, after we look at electrical system, we look at the plant transport system. How do the plant transport food and water? In P5 and 6, or should I say 11-year-old and 5 years old, many of students in the world will learn about this plant transport system. There are two types of tube in the plant system that we all have to know. The first thing we will know is the food carrying tube known as phloem and water carrying tube known as xylem. So where are these carrying tubes being found? Well, they are being found inside the stem of a plant. And what do they carry? One tube is called a xylem, carrying waters and minerals from the roots to all part of plant in a one-way direction. So the water will be absorbed by the roots from the ground and pass through the stem and go to the leaf and fruits of flowers in a one-way direction. It won't be able to go down. All right. So xylem carry water and minerals. The other tube, actually called the phloem, carries food made by plants to different parts of the plant. So xylem is a one-way direction. However, phloem is a two-way direction. Can go up, can go down, can go sideways. There is no restriction. All these two tubes helps the plants to get what they need and what they want to grow and stay healthy. So what are the function of all this carrying tube? As mentioned earlier, here's how we clearly explain when a teacher will ask us what are the function of a carrying tube. Water carrying tube, if the question asks you to explain what is the function of a water carrying tube or what is the function of xylem, look at the words in bold. In science, we don't talk about English. You can be grammatical weak, you can be vocabulary weak, but as long as in your science questions, when you answer the question, the keyword is there, the question you will get correct. In this case, for the function of to explain on the function of the water carrying tube, we have to key the or write in the keyword called xylem. Job is to transport water and mineral salt. As long as you mention this word called transport water and mineral salt, you get correct. All right, but of course, to make it more clear, we write in full sentences. The xylem job is to transport water and mineral salt from the roots to all part of the plant. All right. Same goes as the food carrying tube, the phloem. The phloem transports sugars or glucose or food from the leaves to all part of plants. All right. Important thing is that we should use the word carry or transport.
似個錢嚟喎。
We don't use the word called bring or take. Because many of our students, right, told me, Andrew, bring water also same thing. What the transport they and bring water. Yes, in layman term English, bring and carry is the same. But however, in scientific words wise, bring is just saying that the plants got hand to carry water. However, the plants has no hand. So thus the only keyword that was that's acceptable by the whole world is carry or transport. Now, the next important thing you have to know is take in. Many students tell all teachers in the world that actually the roots take in water, right? The roots take in water for the plant to grow, ma. But however, right, this take in, right, in science wise, right, got something a bit of some issue here. Why? But like I say, the plants have no hand. Take in is like people give you give you, they'll use your hand to take. I take the food. Like I take the water bottle, yay, my water bottle here. I take my hand is taking one water bottle. But however, the plants there's no hand. So therefore, by using the word taking, right, we might be confusing the teacher is like use hand or use leg. So the best we don't recommend using the word called taking. We use the word called absorb because the roots they actually absorb water from the soil to the plant. So these are the important keywords that you have to know, right, when you're dealing with this kind of summary system. All right. Next up. Now, the next thing we'll look into in this chapter summary is what is photosynthesis. Yeah, xylem and phloem is like veins and arteries of the plant. It's just that our veins and artery in our body is going two-way direction, up and down. But for the plant system, xylem is only one-way traffic from the roots all the way to the leaf and out to the atmosphere, whereas phloem is up and down. So there's something different between the plant system and the human system. All right. Now back to this slide now. What is photosynthesis? All right. For primary 3 and primary 4 students, for 9 years old and 10 years old students, we learned that this photosynthesis is a life process for the plant to make food, where their leaves make the food for the plants to eat or to use. For the P5 and P6 students, for those 11 and 12 years old, I'm so sorry, you are grown up. You are more mature than the 9 years old and 10 years old. You have to provide a detailed explanation if the teacher were to ask you this question in exam, be it in Singapore or Vietnam, or in fact the whole world. All right. So how do we answer this? What is photosynthesis? So for a 9 years old and 10 years old students, what is photosynthesis? Or photosynthesis is a process where the plants make food. That's it. That's for 9 years old and 10 years old. But if you are 11, 12, 13, and beyond, I'm so sorry, you are matured. So you have to write more details like this. So what is photosynthesis for 11 and 12 years old? The answer is the leaf absorb light energy using chlorophyll and taking water and carbon dioxide to perform photosynthesis. This process produces oxygen and glucose. That's that's it. This is the more detailed explanation or answer of how to answer these questions. Like I said, 9 years old and 10 years old, we test you about a basic knowledge. Like what is this? You explain what sentence, that's it. But P5 and P6, we want to test you on your analyze skill. We want to test you on your thinking skill. Can you think, can you write in more keywords to explain the questions? That's why you can see some students is like wondering, how come when I answer this question using what I answered in the past when I was 9 years old, I get correct. But when I was 11 years old now, same answer is wrong. This explain why. All right. So next up, eh, important to note and a chapter summary to know is that the direction of the food substance isn't always going downwards. As mentioned earlier, the phloem, the food carrying tube of the plant, can go two-way traffic up or down. While we know that this food is needed by the plants for the roots to perform their daily function of absorbing water, Flowers and fruits also need food to function. Flowers can be found above the leaves, which means to say that the food have to transport upwards. That's why I said earlier, food carrying tube can go up or down. So the correct concept to know, or the correct explanation to explain this question of saying that what is the direction of the food carrying tube, we can say that this correct concept is the food carrying tube transport sugar or glucose from the leaves to all parts of the plant. The direction can be upwards or downwards depending on where the food is needed by the plant. It's just like humans. When we are running, we need we need more energy to the leg. So the blood will carry whatever needed to the leg for it to function. Something like that. And always remember that the function of the food carrying tube is to transport glucose, sugar, or food to all parts of the body. Sorry, all parts of plants. All right. The keyword here is all parts, not only to the leaf or to the fruits or to the roots. It's all parts. All right. Now, after talking about the electrical system, the plant system, now we look at the human system. All right. The most famous question of all in this chapter on human transport system is that the teacher will ask you, give you a diagram as shown example here. They will tell you, all right, students, please tell me which arrow shows the blood is poor in oxygen. When you say poor in oxygen, it means to say what? It means to say it's the level of oxygen is very low. So let's look at this diagram now in proper. Blood at X is coming from the heart, from the lungs. When blood is coming from the lungs to the heart, in the lungs, the oxygen is taken into the body from the air enter the blood. Therefore, this is the first stop, which means to say that this particular arrow X, in fact, is rich in oxygen because it's just pick up oxygen from the lung. It had not been used yet. All right. Now let's look at why. Why is the blood is coming from the leg? In the leg, the body cells in the leg use oxygen for respiration and carbon dioxide is released into the blood. Therefore, the blood at Y is poorer in oxygen because the oxygen has been used up by the body cells for respiration. All right. So in summary, based on this diagram here, always remember these 2 pointers for this human transport system is that blood flowing towards the body from the lungs, for example, like this arrow X, is always richer in oxygen. The second concept is blood flowing away from the body after delivering oxygen to the cell, like the blood in arrow Y, is poorer in oxygen. By understanding and remembering these 2 concepts, you can answer this question very well. All right. Now, in this human transport system, we always talk about the question, other than telling you the diagram which arrow is rich in oxygen or poor in oxygen, the next thing the teacher like to ask is the breathing and the heartbeat rate. Why this person doing this activity like running or playing soccer, the heartbeat increase, or why people in resting, the heartbeat is normal or breathing is normal? Why? So when playing soccer, like those people in the EPL, the Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or Liverpool, when the players playing soccer, the body need more energy compared to when sleeping. As a result, as the players kick the ball from one field or end of field to another end of field, their heart rate and breathing rate are the highest during the time when they are playing soccer match and lowest when sleeping. This because when the player is playing soccer, more energy is needed. That's why the heart needs to beat faster to transport oxygen and digested food to all part of body. All right. This the substance right, of food and oxygen will be used up to release energy for the players to continue to kick the ball and score a goal. However, on the other hand, when they need more energy, so during the matches, more carbon dioxide and waste are being produced, and therefore need to transport back to the organ for removal. Therefore, the breathing rate will also increase because the lung need to take in more oxygen and expel more carbon dioxide to support this high energy demand. That's why when you are playing soccer or any other activity that need more energy, your heartbeat and your breathing rate is high. All right. Some common mistake that students always make. All right. They will say that example, body cells need to respire more faster and to release more energy. All right. This sentence is wrong. Why? It's important to link this to the heart rate and the breathing rate. These two works together to support the body increased need of oxygen and energy during activity like soccer. So the body cell, yes, they will need more, but however, by explaining to the teacher or writing your exam that, oh, the reason why you are breathing so fast is because the body cell need more, it's like kind of not answering the question improper. In science, all question that was being answered, the teacher want to see a keyword. They want to know whether you understand the topic or not. Therefore, it is important to link this high breathing rate, high heartbeat into the two keyword called the heart rate and the breathing rate. So by linking this question to these two keywords, you will tell the teacher that you understand the topic. All right. Next up, some students will just say that, oh, the heart will beat faster to transport more digested food and oxygen to the body cell to release more energy, blah, blah, blah. But however, for 11 years old and 12 years old students, you have to mention the process called respiration. If like as I mentioned earlier, when you're 9 years old and 10 years old, P3 and P4 is all about knowing the basics. So if you answer these questions, the question on heartbeat and breathing rate, using the above, heart will beat faster, transport more, blah 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 blah, you are correct at 9 years old and 10 years old. But for 11 years old and 12 years old, it's more about concept, processes. So if you don't answer this respiration, you only get half mark, which is quite unfair when you have actually studied for the examinations or tests, be it in Singapore, Vietnam, or other country in the world. All right, always mention the process called respiration when talking about heart rate and breathing rate questions. All right, because this is a key process where energy is released. All right, now after we look at the system chapter in summary, let's look at cycles in summary. Cycles, when we talk about cycles, it's not a bicycle cycling in the road, right? It's more about life cycle or water cycle that repeat it's a repeated pattern of change. When we understand cycle, we can predict event. Like for example, we know that water cycle from the river to the sky back to the earth on the rain, we can know that when it's gonna rain. Those weather forecasters can predict future rain forecasts, etc. Or a farmer can predict that when will this egg be hatched, or how fast or how long will the chick grow to a chicken so that it can sell to the market, something like that. So all these cycle help man to predict events and processes. All right. So now let's look at the plant. Today we focus on plant. So we look at this plant now, right? There is a male part and female part in the plant life cycle. All right. The male part of plant is anther and filament, whereby the pollen grain which contain the male reproductive cells are inside the anther, and this pollen grain will stick to the body of a pollinator like bees or butterfly. It will fly to another flower, and that's how the entire process begins. Then, of course, when we have male parts, we have female parts as well, like stigma, style, ovary, and ovules. All right, let's carry on. So there are two important processes that teacher would like to ask every students in all examination. The process of pollination and fertilization. So when the pollen grains landed on a stigma, the process begins. So pollen grains will grow pollen tube containing the male reproductive cells and travel down to the style to reach the ovary. Male reproductive cell enter the ovules, and male preparator cells fuse with the female preparator cells, and that's when fertilization takes place. And lastly, the ovary will then develop into the fruits. So this is an example of the flower structure. Anther is here, stigma is here, pollen grain is here. All right. Now, there are two types or two ways how the flower can actually start the process of pollination. There are two types. The first type is the wind. The second type is animal. Both flowers have different characteristics and it's very easy to see whether this flower need animal or wind help. First thing first, we look at the stigma and the anther. For those flowers that need the wind help, they will have feathery stigma that's sticking out of the flower, and there's a larger surface area so that they can grab whatever pollen grain or the wind. All right. So long filaments hang out of flower to allow the filament to sway easily in the wind, make it easy for the pollen grain to drop off by the wind when the wind blow. And also, this kind of flower have large feathery stigma that increase the surface area to catch the pollen grain that is in the air or carried by the wind. So this is a picture of example of how the flower that need the wind to do pollination looks like. Next, animal pollinated flowers are different. The wind pollinated flower, they do not need to look bright. They don't have to attract anyone because it's by nature on this planet there will be wind. But however, for animal pollinated flowers, they need to attract bee. They need to be very beautiful and very sweet smell to say, come, 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 come to my flower, come, 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 come. So that's what they have to be very beautiful and bright colors to attract the animals or pollinator to the flowers. Their characteristic is they are smaller anther and stigma found inside the flower to enable the pollen grain to stick onto the pollinator skin or feather easily. So these are the two different types on how the flower will to kickstart the process of pollination. All right. Now, after we talk about pollination and fertilization, teachers would like to ask the student another questions. So this question will be like, after the flower become fruits, how does this fruits kickstart the entire plant life cycle again? In this case, the entire question is talk about seed dispersal. So how do we answer these seed dispersal questions? So some tips that I can think of is that when answering this kind of open-ended science question, right, always remember one thing. The first thing you have to do is you must identify the picture of the seeds or from the picture of the looks of the flower. What is the method used by this plant based on what you see in the picture in the paper? Looks like what seed dispersal method does this seeds use in order to grow a new baby plant? Then you explain the plant part involved, like the seeds, the fruits here and there, and explain in more details on how this function of seed dispersal helps the seeds to grow a new life. So by linking all the plant parts to their function, your answer will be clear and complete. All right, all right. Now, in exam questions, if they give you this type of picture, the first thing first you look at the picture. Is there any wing or looks like feather? There's light. So in this case, you look at this angsana. There's like a wing-like structure. So by having a wing-like structure, it will increase the surface area and air resistance to enable the seeds to stay afloat longer. So for this question, to answer the seed dispersal question, right, please do not blindly memorize everything because every seeds have different features. If I give you a picture of this picture here, I cannot answer the question using wind-like structure. There is no wind here. It's all about it's all hair. So based on the image I answer, I can ask I must do to answer this question using this image, I must use hair-like structure to catch the wind. However, if the question paper give me an angsana seat, then I use wing-like structure depending on which image you see. It's either hair-like or wing-like. Now next, by water. When you see a coconut, the first thing that comes to your mind for this question is clearly water. Because coconut have what? Coconut have two things, waterproof skin and this husk that trap air to enable the fruits to stay afloat. And the waterproof skin to prevent water, the fruit from absorbing water and sinking down. So these are the two important keywords when you're answering question on those seeds that's dispersed by water. Next, the third action of disposal is by explosive action. That is saga seed here, whereby the fruits will explode. The seed pod will split through the line of the weakness, and the seeds inside will be flung out by force. Lastly, animal dispersal. There are two types. One is animal fruit with large seed. The animals will eat the fruits, the flesh, while the large seed is being thrown away by them. After they eat finish the fruits, they will throw away the large seed on the ground, and therefore the seed are able to grow in a new life. The other things is for those fruits that are small seed, the the animal will eat everything. And all these seeds they are not able to digest will pass out on the ground after when the animal put a pass motion. So these are the two parts of how animal going to disperse their seeds. Some common mistake. We know that the previous slide talk about animal they help the plants to disperse their seed by eating them and putting them on the ground, or eat them then pass motion as feces on the ground. But it's wrong to say that animal ingest the fruits and disperse them. We have to be specific. You need to tell the teacher that the indigestible seed, those seeds that cannot be digested, why, and explain how the seed are being dispersed through dropping of feces when the plant and the animal move away from the parent plant. So you have to explain using this. Say that small seeds that are not digested are eaten and passed out in animal feces. All right. The next wrong thing is the seeds are pooped out. We have to use a proper science term, right? Like a dropping of physics to maintain a formal and accurate explanation. All right. So by providing clear and complete details, our answer will be more correct in size and more comprehensive. All right. With that, I have completed this summary 2 chapter on the E5s. It's time for game. All right. We will play two games. All right. Same thing. I'm going to use Pathor.
Can you do apocalypse? Apocalypse.
All right. Sure. I will do a probably plan.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you?
So
No.
I will put easy. All right.
Let's go.
Okay. So well, it's a bit first. Okay. Continue. All right. Please join now. Let me just send the link to the Zoom chat. Let's wait a while for more people to come in. All right, we can start now. Enjoy.
Học xong chưa? Rồi ơi.
Okay, we are ending the game in 5 minutes time. All right, we're ending in 1 minute's time. Enjoy your last 50 seconds. All right. I hope you enjoy the game. All right, congrats to Tom. All right, so I will see you all next week for the last lessons. See you next week then. All right, take care. Bye bye.
See ya.
See ya. Bye bye. Take care.